Welcome back to the Star Trek Critic, where each episode is graded like a school project, starting with 100 points and 1 point taken away for each error. Today's episode is Day of the Dove, where an alien being gets its energy by watching people fight. The first point is lost, since this episode has an unbelievable plot, and has just too many flaws, and probably shouldn't have been made in the first place. The Enterprise responds to a distress call of a planet under attack, most likely fabricated by this alien. The next point is lost, since Chekhov, McCoy, and Johnson are all aiming their phasers at Kirk. They should be all aiming outward. Unlike the Borg that scoops colonies out, they find no evidence of a colony, which is proof the alien made it all up. The alien hides behind a rock while it sends out its lies to their minds. The Klingons are coming, and they have a really cool way of beaming down. They are just too macho to use glitter. The next point is lost, since they say the enemy ship is drifting. If that was true, there is no way it could have snuck up on the Enterprise. Kang claims the Enterprise and says the crew is all his prisoners. Let's see if he can pull it off. Kirk and Kang shout insults at each other. Kang doesn't believe there's a colony here either. Klingons, of course, tire of this early, so Kang says, just beam us up and I'm going to take over the ship. Kirk says, go to the devil, and Kang says Klingons have no devil, but they do. Feklar.
You are not Feklar.
Kang could just stun them and take the communicator away, but he likes to boast. Who will be first? That is incorrect. The correct line is, who is on first? Chekhov says they killed his brother. Kang says, no, you killed my brother. This is the portable version of the Klingon pain stick. Look closely. Kirk says he'll beam you aboard the Enterprise. Once there, no tricks. Seriously? That's not Mr. Spock at all. We get to see the magic button that lets Spock know something's wrong. This is the only time we see 9 people beamed up at once. But how did the alien get to the ship? This is a neat trick, but how long can you keep people in suspended animation like that? Would this actually work better than freezing people for long trips? It worked for Scotty in the Next Generation, but that was a last-minute desperate attempt, and they were lucky. Or he was lucky. The other one died. They don't send the Klingons back to the surface and fly away to safety. Instead, they beam them aboard and cause a real mess, so minus 1 point. He's looking for Johnson again? How many Johnsons are there?
Back in the old days, there were Johnsons as far as the eye could see.
And what a lovely sight it was.
Chekhov has a point. Send them back. But he wants to for the wrong reasons. Kirk says, no, if we do that, it'll be a really short episode. So they beam the Klingons aboard and all hell breaks loose. On the surface, the Klingons were facing in, but now they're facing out, so minus 1 point. And he did say no tricks once there, so he didn't lie. If you want to get technical, Kirk has no valid reason to arrest them, but the anger alien might be getting to him. Scotty blames the communications block on the radiation from the Klingon ship, and there never is an explanation of how it got damaged in the first place, so minus 1 point. The next point is lost for really poor makeup on the Klingons. It's practically a blackface episode. Mara worries about being taken to Federation death camps. Kirk and Spock are thinking, we were told you had the death camps. Mara really needs to quit watching those propaganda films. Kirk's like, yep, that's us alright. Here's the bad guy again. Another point is lost for only one set of doors on the turbo lift. Spock is using logic to deduce that the Klingons couldn't be responsible for the attack on the colony, but I don't think anybody wants to listen to that right now. McCoy is really taken over by the alien. Somebody will complain about this phrase, I'm sure. It's also probably illegal to blow up the Klingon ship. They have no evidence it attacked the colony. They can easily fly away from the radiation, even if that is real, so minus 1 point. He never says where they're going. One thing about low-budget science fiction shows, if you need a bad guy, just shine a flashlight on a pinwheel, and you got one. Mara wants to take over the ship. Kirk should know it's really a bad idea to have them all together plotting the takeover of the ship, so minus 1 point for not putting them in separate quarters. Uhura said this right after she read the script. It looks like they hit a bump. The Enterprise is turning left. That means it's going real fast. Minus 1 more point for that not being Chekhov, and minus 1 more point for Sulu looking back twice in a row. The vibrations magically stop in engineering, so minus 1 more point. Kirk says, where's the override? Didn't somebody else say this?
Where's the override? The override!
Minus 1 more point for not saying how far away they are from the edge of the galaxy. This looks a lot like the opening credits. Another point is lost for the bulkhead conveniently trapping 400 people away from engineering, the bridge, and sickbay. I hope Kirk left somebody in charge of the bridge when he walked out. Kang finds it most interesting that they are now at even numbers. I would take a point for Kirk striking Kang, but he could be under the influence of the alien, so no point lost this time. Looks like there's going to be an old-fashioned sword fight. The security guards suck. They're always hiding behind Kirk, so -1 point. Johnson is injured, and strangely the turbolift can still go to sickbay and the bridge, even with all the bulkheads closed, so -1 point. With that many people, it would have been better if the alien plotted them against each other. It would look a lot like this. Spock realizes some outside source is causing this. That's what she said. Looks like Chekhov has Trump derangement syndrome. Now Chekhov quotes from The Wrath of Khan.
I shall avenge you.
Sulu tries to explain that Chekhov is an only child, but Kirk tells him to go to engineering. Now there is no one flying the ship except for the alien. Uhura is unaffected by the alien too. Look closely. This level has a vase on the floor, and this level has a fire hose on the side. That's how you tell they're on different levels. Ironically, the Doctor seems to be the most affected by the alien. It looks like the red area is where they're fighting, but it would be impossible to block the exact number of people out the way the alien did. Kang is a little level-headed about taking over a ship that's out of control. Now he quotes his favorite Justin Timberlake movie. Scotty thinks he's Kirk. Seeing that Claymore really did him in. Kirk wants to know what in blazes is going on. Spock makes a big discovery in his magic scanner. They are not alone. Looks like Scotty's head rolled away again. Sulu should know you never keep your back to a door. Either the alien is controlling the engineers' minds, or they are just too stupid to turn around and see it. Now for an old-fashioned sword fight with the Klingons. Yes! Sulu has a sword but decides the judo chop is the better way to go. The Klingons have taken over engineering, but Sulu and Scotty decide to leave the engineers in there to be taken prisoner instead of go back and fight. Aww. Spock concludes there is an alien on board. This is the alien at night. The computer says Spock is correct. McCoy has really been corrupted by the alien. He's been watching the same propaganda films as Kara. McCoy is acting like a true pacifist right now, getting more violent than the military men. Kang doesn't want to reason right now, he just cut off all their life support. Now Scotty is taken over and spouts racist comments at the Klingons and then at Spock, which is a pretty bad idea, because now Spock is getting influenced by the alien. Is Kirk getting influenced too? He's right, they have been trained to hit each other now, but they do manage to snap out of it. Kirk gets out of his delirium by trying to speak like Shakespeare. That's what she said. This is the only time you see Sulu in a Jeffries tube. But it turned out the alien turned the life support systems back on, not Sulu, because it wants to have everybody on equal footing. Either that, or the alien is secretly afraid of the dark. Of course, Kang doesn't know an alien is doing all this yet. The next point is lost because this is reused footage from Is There No Truth in Beauty? Spock has found the alien.
Let's go! Let's go!
Chekhov shows he can jump off a ladder. In this scene, Chekhov is an asshole. He's acting really creepy right now. He kisses her so hard her makeup rubs right off, and then Kirk gives Chekhov a really good bitch slapping. Kirk tries to negotiate with Kara, but she really doesn't trust him right now. This looks vaguely familiar. In the future, men wear bras. They know what they're becoming, and now this. They are magically healing themselves so they can fight some more. Dr. McCoy and Spock apologize for being total shitheads to each other. Aww. Johnson's like, cool, I can fight some more. And now they finally see it. The alien is obeying its own orders now. The entity tells them to kill the Klingons. Johnson is ready to go, but Spock is sick of his shit and knocks him out. The comment sounds like, the Force is strong with this one. Now they discovered it feeds on anger. Of course, the alien taking over the ship is actually draining the dilithium crystals, which defeats its own purpose. They only have 12 minutes of power left. Kirk's response is, well, do whatever you can, which means he doesn't know what to do. The next point is lost for the captain's log talking down to the audience, like we all forgot what happened during the commercial break. Now there are 9 minutes. We really didn't forget anything during those 3 minutes. Spock and Scotty come up with a plan to threaten Kang with killing his wife. Kara's like, "Are you shitting me?" No, it's not Kang, it's... Kirk tells Kang she has 5 seconds to live. Kang says, "Well, that's nice, I can get another one." Then Kara thinks, well, maybe it is time for a divorce after all. Kara believes expansion helps the poor. She's been sniffing some serious glue. Kara plays nice now, but Spock still doesn't trust her. Kirk quotes from his favorite Dr. Seuss book. The next point is lost for their concern over intra-ship beaming, since beaming down to a planet or underground like they've done is just as dangerous, and that should have been the first thing they thought of when the bulkheads closed. Now he quotes Admiral Akbar. But first, Kara has a question.
Wait, you said you would kill me.
I lied.
Spock still has time to be a logical shit. Spock says you have 8 seconds to get on the pad. Kirk spends 7 seconds to place the sword on the console instead of just tossing it aside, so -1 point. Kang pretends to be happy she's still alive, but Kara's like, "Wait a second, I know what you said to Kirk." So Kara tosses Kirk a sword so he can stab the living shit out of Kang. Isn't this Klingon in the middle a little big? And the guy on the left has his belt off center. Now it's time for a good old-fashioned sword fight. Now here's a question. Could they reassemble if they've been hacked to bits? Her heart goes to the victor, just like this person. Here comes the squad. So why is the doctor in front, followed by the first officer, and then security behind them? So -1 point. Oh look, the stormtroopers are watching Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight. McCoy takes the lead. Is it because he always dreamed of being a swashbuckler, or is it because security sucks on the Enterprise? Kirk finally gets Kang to see the alien, and he decides to sing a song.
In the heart, in the head, I won't stay dead.
Kirk tries to be philosophical with the Klingons, while Bones just says, "Let's just jump them." Kara tries singing her favorite Annie Lennox song. Kirk thinks this is just like Toy Story. Now he's practicing to be a drill sergeant. Kirk gets on the intercom and says, "Lay down your weapons." But they don't listen to him. Will they listen to Kang? Yes, as a matter of fact they did. Spock says happiness will scare it away. Of course, too much happiness is dangerous.
Scotty's dead. He had too much happiness.
Kirk says they don't want to play anymore. The Three Musketeers try to laugh it away. Kang tries to help too. Now they're all laughing and Kang gives Kirk a good happy whack on the back. The laughing is too much for the alien to bear. So it leaves the Enterprise and they all live happily ever after. Except their dilithium ran out and they're kind of stuck out there in the middle of nowhere. So who were the Klingons? Mark Tobin played a Klingon and Joaquin on Space Seed, and will have a cameo on Star Trek Voyager later on. David Ross was born in Morocco. He has been on Star Trek 9 times, also known as Galloway, and has been killed twice on the show. Susan Howard played Mara. She has 50 screen credits, including I Dream of Jeannie, Land of the Giants as Mrs. Garrick, and 200 episodes of Dallas. She is a member of the NRA and a commissioner of the Texas Wildlife Department. And Michael Ansara played Kang. He was born in Syria and was married to Barbara Eden. He has 200 screen credits to his name, including Ren Tin Tin, Buck Rogers, and we'll see him play Kang again in Deep Space Nine and Voyager. And the alien played itself. But the most important question, why is this episode called Day of the Dove? Day of the Dove, not one of the better shows, actually gets a score of 88%. That's all for now. Thanks for viewing. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists and click that like button, the share button, and that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.